Micah, let me try to talk you off the fence a little bit. I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but, obviously Washington has the big embarrassing game against the Eagles. Eagles, I think, scored 112 points or something like that.
That was in the first quarter, yes.
Right, exactly. And as a former bookmaker, let me tell you that was a national TV game, a night game where the whole country was watching one game rather than it being spread out on a Sunday. And because of that, the bookmakers, they're very savvy. They know this, and they know the public is about as down on Washington as they could possibly be right now. So what happens is they look for a line. In a game like this, Washington, Tennessee, if Washington just had a regular performance, losing by a little, winning by a little, or anything around there, this game is Tennessee 4.5-point favorites. They're now a full 7-point favorites over Washington because the whole country watched Washington get annihilated. They're watching the whole Shanahan drama. First, he calls McNabb out on TV, benches him, calls him out on TV. Then they hit him with a contract and extension. I mean, they're all over the place, but I think if there's any value here, there's no value in betting Tennessee at a full 7. Not that they won't win by 14, just from a value standpoint, I don't see it. There is, if you can stomach betting on Washington, there is a value here from a point spread perspective with betting Washington and taking the full 7 rather than a 4.5 or 5 that they'd normally be getting here in this situation.
I'll tell you what, Mike, I think they just hand the ball to Chris Johnson 32 times, and they win this game by at least 21 points.
Could very well be right.
I just don't see how this Redskins team, which, as you've seen, I mean, you're the unfortunate victim in the area there. Matter of fact, Mike, why are you not a Baltimore Ravens fan? I mean, it might be time to change.
It's not too late. It's never too late. I used to be I'm a Jet fan growing up. We always had to adopt a team come playoff time. So you either like the Cowboys or the Steelers if you were from New York, or else you're sitting home with the playoffs with nobody to watch.
Hey, Micah, thanks for giving us a call. I appreciate it.
Adopt the Ravens.
Yes. We are going to be running down every single game here on the board. But first, let us just tell you quickly about PickNation.com. Guys, if you go to the site right now, you can get my best bet today, Steve's top crew play today, the plays of all 13 handicappers, for free, no strings attached, simply by trying out what we call the All Access Pass. You go to the homepage, you'll see free one-day trial. No strings attached, guys. Listen, PickNation.com. You don't see an 800 number down here. You don't see a 900 number down here. We're 100% online business. What you see is what you get. You go to the site, you get the free one-day trial. There's no salesman calling you up. We don't want your phone number, nothing like that. We are the biggest sports gambling community in the world for a reason, because we're 100% online. And guys, when you take advantage of that free one-day all-access pass, I don't think guys realize, for example, if you did it last Sunday, you got almost $700 worth of plays. That would have been the total cost if you bought all the handicappers separately for free, and there's no strings attached.
And knowledge is power. And you talk about the things on our site that they'll see, like this all-access pass. We do that. Nobody else does it. I mean, typical scam in this industry is you come to the site and they'll say, hey, here's a guaranteed play. You don't get it for free. You got to pay for it. But if I lose, then I'm going to give you all this other worthless stuff for free also.
Because they already got your money.
And they've already proven that they can't win. So now that you know that they can't win, what is the rest of their season worth to you? Nothing. So this is just a typical scam. Another scam that we always talk about is the winning week scam. You can tell them about that one.
Oh, guys, do not be deceived when you go to an internet site of some handicapper and you see 7 out of 8 winning weeks, 12 out of 15 winning weeks, 22 out of 27 winning weeks. But he never puts down what is total net profit. And I'm talking about wins minus losses minus the VIG, right?
The only thing that matters.
The only thing that matters is net profit. Now, I have a standing rule as general manager of Pick Nation. There is not one handicapper allowed to do anything like that unless he puts down his net profit. Instead, generally what you find at our sites, you'll see like a Derek Mancini, whose net profit since June 1st is about 950 dimes coming into this week. A guy who in the NFL alone is up nearly 500 dimes over the past 3-4 weeks. You know, if you see winning weeks so many out of so many, ask yourself, what is the guy hiding from me? Because if he had a positive number to put there, he'd put it down there because it's the greatest advertising and marketing tool in the world. Instead, like we were talking before the show, you'll see these guys, and what you don't realize, a winning week means they finished +1.
Right.
They could have had a losing week that were minus 230.
700 dimes in action. They're up 20 dimes for the week. That's a winning week. Next week, they lose 560 dimes, it's a losing week. So they're 6 out of 7 winning weeks. But what they failed to tell you is the 6 winning weeks accumulated about 80 dimes in profits. The one losing week was minus 500. They're getting buried like every other sucker gambler out there.
And we joke about this, but this is no joke, guys. Listen, we are the biggest in the world for a reason. What you see is what you get. If I lose the next day, you're going to see my loser at the top of my site.
Whether you bought your pick or not.
Exactly.
If you just come to the site for no reason at all, you just come to the site, you're going to see exactly what every single handicapper did, because that's what we believe in. We don't, at the end of the day,
transparency.
We want a customer for life. We're not interested in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, because we know as handicappers, they're not going to get the benefit of our expertise over a day, over a week, or over a month. The only way to truly grasp the expertise that we have is to play it out over the course of a season. We always say, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and that's true in every sense of the word.
Exactly. You can't always win. There's no guarantees in gambling. You're looking to turn a profit over the course of the season. That's what I've done 8 straight years in pro football and college football combined. And that's what I plan to do this year in the final 2 months of the season. And again, if you take advantage of the free all access pass at picknation.com, the guys whose plays you get today, on Monday, rest assured, you go to their homepages, you're going to see whether they won or lost. And as Steve said, that's available for everybody, customers and non-customers alike, because we just feel that confident that we're that good and we're willing to give you a taste for free because, listen, these guys at our site, they weren't all the same handicappers that were there last year.
Right.
I go through handicappers like you wouldn't believe. If they don't produce, they're gone. That's it. They're gone. They're fired. We can find somebody else. We're always improving the mix. We just brought on Andy Finelli on the site here recently. Right. We always are adding new guys. We added Derek Mancini about 6 months ago, and the guy is the #1 handicapper since June at picknation.com.
We brought Chuck O'Brien in. Literally, he used to give his picks away for $5.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he became the hottest handicapper maybe ever in the NFL for us. And, that's another thing we talk about ever. We're in this business running these websites for 6 years now. If we didn't win for our customers, we wouldn't be here. We'd have no customers.
Exactly.
With the internet and with everything being posted live, you can't get away with it. If you don't win, go home. And I love it that way.
No, absolutely, because as again, we said, many times on this show, without integrity, we have nothing, and that's why we like the total transparency. Back to the phones we go to Danny, who's giving us a buzz from Port Charlotte, Florida. How you doing, Dan?
Hey, great. How are you guys?
Where are you calling us from? Witness protection?
I can't answer that question.
No problem.
What game did you want to hit?
Tampa Bay and San Francisco.
Wow,
love this game. Josh Freeman and the Funky Bunch, man. I love him.
You start the song, you start the show singing the Baja Men song, and now you're giving me the Funky Bunch. What's wrong with you?
We talk about Tampa every week, you know what I mean, as a team that believes in themselves, maybe a little too much, but it seems to be paying off for them.
They have a cocky head coach, that's for sure.
They really do, and I think momentum is key at this time of the year, and I think Tampa Bay really represents the momentum play in this matchup. San Francisco, to me, is a dead horse. In the beginning of the year, maybe people were hyped up about them, thought they were going to have a good year. Hasn't really come to fruition. I'm really high on Tampa Bay in this game. I would take the points.
Well, they are 4-0 against the spread on the road this year, 3-1 straight up on the road. They have covered, dating back to last season, 6 straight road games. San Francisco has apparently, though, found a quarterback in their last 2 games. The one in London when they rallied from double digits down to beat Denver, and then last week when they rallied at home against St. Louis. Troy Smith, another, the Baltimore Ravens cast off the former Heisman Trophy winner, I believe. He won the Heisman when he was at Ohio State a number of years ago. He had been in the witness protection program in the NFL. That's what happens when you're a third-string quarterback and you're inactive almost every single week. But, 356 yards passing last week to lead them to the comeback win. And that was such a strange game against St. Louis because 49ers kept shooting themselves in the foot. 14 penalties in that game, 2 touchdowns called back. It was a costly win, too, though. Lost their starting left tackle, Joe Staley, I think is his name, for the season with a broken fibula. So, right there, Smith's blind side is going to be open here. I'll tell you what.
He wants to agree with me, but it's painful.
Well,
are you watching the process here? For those watching on TV, he'd really like to agree with me, but he's just trying to find a way out of it.